Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Today's story starts with a reward for a perfect spelling test and ends with a local homeless man getting a fresh start in life. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Employee steals from homeless man. Hey guys, it's me again with another entitled people story. This one's a bit of a sad one, but it does have a happy ending. So buckle up, guys. So last month, my 10-year-old niece named Ellie and I were at a McDonald's. I promised her a Happy Meal the next time she visited, if she passed her spelling test. On the day that she came over, I opened the door to a beaming, joyful 10-year-old holding up her spelling test with a 100 written on it in red ink, a smiley face, and the words, "Keep it up," on it. I was proud of her, considering how much she'd been practicing her spelling prior to the test. So, as promised, I took her to McDonald's where she got her Happy Meal, whereas I got a double quarter pounder with cheese, bacon, and a large fry. Before you guys judge me, I really love McDonald's. Anyway, about 5 minutes into us getting our food, a homeless man walks in. We'll name him Rocco. Rocco was generally a chill guy who normally just sat on a park bench alone. He never asked for money, just for food. Everyone in the neighborhood who got to know Rocco liked having him around since he never caused any problems for anyone. So when he walked into McDonald's, I figured that Lady Luck was finally smiling on him. Rocco goes up to the counter and places his order, a bacon McDouble with a small fry and small drink. Here's where things got a bit messed up. After the employee took Rocco's order, the employee took Rocco's money, put it in his pocket, and then demanded that Rocco leave. Rocco tried to protest, which he had every right to, considering that he paid for his food, but the employee was not having it. This upset Ellie, which I didn't notice until she pulled on my shirt and asked, "Why are they kicking Mr. Rocco out? Did he do something wrong?" As I'm getting ready to answer her question, the employee starts in on Rocco again, threatening to call the cops if he didn't leave. Rocco tried to compromise, asked if he could at least get his money back before he left, but the employee essentially told Rocco to kick rocks. So reluctantly, Rocco left and sat outside. I was getting ready to say something, but another customer beat me to it, a middle-aged African-American woman with who I assume were her 2 kids who were also worried about Rocco. The woman walks up to the counter and then proceeds to ask the employee if he knows how much he just messed up. The employee shrugged nonchalantly and asked her what she was talking about. She then pointed out that what he did was considered theft. From what she explained, if someone pays for food but doesn't get their food and the employee refuses to give the customer their money back, that's considered stealing. And since Rocco had both placed and paid for his order by pocketing Rocco's money and then kicking him out, the employee basically just robbed a homeless guy. The employee then tries to justify his actions, saying that he was saving Rocco from himself because if he gave Rocco his money back, he was just going to use it to buy alcohol. The lady then responds, pointing out that if some booze were really what Rocco wanted, then he wouldn't have came into a McDonald's to get a burger. What makes the employee's statement even more messed up is that Rocco's a proud, straight-edge guy, which everyone knew, but the employee apparently didn't. Here's where the ownage comes in. So as it turned out, the lady who confronted the employee was actually someone from corporate. When she revealed who she was, the color left the employee's face. By this time, Ellie and I had finished our meals and were on our way out the door. As we're leaving, we hear the store manager and the lady from corporate ripping into the employee, calling him unprofessional and telling him how his actions don't represent how McDonald's treats their customers. I didn't hear what happened after that until last week when I went in for lunch. As I'm walking in, I notice a new employee at the register, so I ask one of the other employees what happened. From what they told me, the employee was required to give Rocco his money back, plus Rocco's order, and then he was fired immediately after. Fast forward to yesterday. I'm on my way home from work when I run into Rocco. With a big smile on his face, I smile back and ask him how he's doing. He explains that he actually had a job interview earlier in the week as a dishwasher at a local bistro for $12 an hour. He then tells me that they hired him on the spot because of his personality, his character, and how he presented himself at the interview. I told him how happy I was for him and that I hope things continued working out for him. We then went to McDonald's, shared a 20-piece chicken McNugget, and then went our separate ways. What a terrible way to treat anyone. Really, if you don't want to serve someone, don't take the order and then steal the money. What a horrible person. Nice to see that the children in the restaurant got to watch someone do the right thing and stick up for Rocco. And our second story. Dad never listens on the phone, so he got a shocking surprise. I just read a post about someone's dad who never hangs up the phone himself. My dad's the exact opposite, and it reminded me of an incident that happened a few weeks ago. My dad disconnects the call once he's gotten what he wants out of it. No goodbye, no I'm hanging up now, no anything else. It drives me bat crap crazy. I take care of the utilities at his house, i.e. I pay his electric and phone bills. A few weeks ago, it was time to pay the electricity bill, but I was having bank issues and the payment wasn't going through. I called him to let him know this issue and to ask if he would mind paying the bill himself this time, as it was the last day for payment. I'm not exaggerating when I say I had to call him 6 times to get just this one point across, because he kept hanging up thinking I was done speaking. I almost threw my phone at the wall, it was so frustrating. I think all he got from my call was today is the last day to pay the bill, and he assumed that I was calling to tell him that I had paid it. I was so frustrated at that point that I didn't call back. If he doesn't want to listen to what I have to say, he may as well bear the consequences of it. 2 weeks later, the electricity connection to his house got disconnected. He called me up shouting about unpaid bills. I calmly told him that I had called him about it, and since he kept disconnecting the numerous calls I placed, I assumed he had it handled. Anyways, it's almost festival season in my country, and I'm so busy that I won't be able to sort out his issues for at least another 2 weeks. He's going to have to figure it out himself. Have fun taking multiple trips to the government-run electricity board office, Dad. Edit. To clarify a few things, my culture is Indian. The festival season I spoke of is Diwali. I own a small business which is in high demand during Diwali, and I'm going to be working 10+ hours a day for the next 14 days, weekends included. I'm not off partying in music festivals as many of you seem to think. I didn't text him because he does not read texts. If he gets a text, he'll call that person and then hang up on them too. It's true that 2 weeks is not enough time for anyone to cut off electricity, but my dad's connection was already on notice due to late payments for more than a year, and he already had the connection disconnected once. It's why I'd taken over the payments since the past 3 months. I did not leave my dad with no electricity for 2 weeks because he did go to the office and electricity will be restored by tomorrow. About my dad being an a-hole or people saying I need to go NC with him and calling me a doormat, yes, the Indian culture demands a certain level of respect for your elders, but it's not all-encompassing. My respect for my dad stems from my generally good relationship with him. There's 1 or 2 things that he's really bad at. That does not mean he's an entirely bad person. I showcase one of his bad qualities in this post, but he has numerous good qualities as well. I pay his bills because I want to, not because he needs me to or he asks me for help. He's perfectly capable of it financially. No person's perfect, but I try not to make a habit of vilifying anyone for a few flaws, especially not my own dad, who's probably very proud to have me as his daughter. I'll take him to visit a doctor in 2 weeks' time to check for neurological diseases like dementia. Thanks for the tip. You did the right thing. I've found out that if somebody doesn't want to listen to you and there are consequences, the best way to tell them is to let them figure it out for themselves. I want to know if your dad continues to hang up the phone later on. Enjoy your festival. And our last story. Trespassers took over our private beach. My boyfriend, 26-year-old male, and I live together in a lake house that I inherited from my grandmother. It's a peaceful place with a private beach, clearly marked with private property signs, and we've got cameras watching the entire shoreline. We take pride in keeping it well maintained and quiet. Both of us grew up without dads. Mine left when I was 15 and his walked out when he was a toddler. So we tend to spend holidays like Father's Day doing our own thing with chosen family. This year, my 2 younger brothers came out to spend the weekend with us. The middle one is 24 and brought his girlfriend, 23-year-old female, and the youngest is 21. That Sunday, we went out on the lake in our jet skis early in the morning. We came back a bit before lunch to chill and cook. My youngest brother helped me in the kitchen while the others went down to the beach. Not 5 minutes later, my brother and his girlfriend come back up and say, hey, there are people on the beach. We asked them to leave, but they basically ignored us. My boyfriend and I looked at each other like, you've got to be kidding. He went down there to handle it himself, and sure enough, there was a whole family of 9 set up like it was their personal picnic area. 5 adults, 4 kids, coolers, towels, umbrellas, Bluetooth speakers, etc. My boyfriend was polite, calm, and direct. Hey, this is private property. There are signs, and we ask that people respect them. Could you please pack up and head elsewhere? One of the men said, we're not hurting anything. It's Father's Day. We just wanted a place to relax. My boyfriend told them again it wasn't public land and that they needed to leave. They refused, so he came back up, called the non-emergency police line, because technically it's trespassing, and we all sat down to eat lunch. An hour passed, no sign of the cops, so we decided, screw it. We get them to leave the old-fashioned way. We packed up some drinks, a speaker, and a card deck, and went down to the beach to coexist. Now, we're usually pretty chill, but this time, we went full chaos mode. Explicit music blasting, nothing outright offensive, just enough to make any uptight parent squirm, loud cackling, crass jokes, drinking games that got increasingly stupid by the minute. My boyfriend and I aren't the PDA type, but that day, let's just say we gave them a show. We're a gay couple in the Deep South, and judging by the looks they were giving us, that was already enough to ruffle feathers. So we leaned into it, full hand-holding, making out, babe this, baby that, lap-sitting, the works. We weren't breaking any laws, we were just being annoying on our own property. The kids started whining first. One mom tried to block the youngest's ears during a loud track. Then one of the guys tried to turn his speaker up louder than ours. We outblasted him with ease. One of the women stood up, flustered and red-faced, and shouted, "Shame on you people for ruining what was supposed to be a nice Father's Day for my husband and brother. We just wanted a good day on the lake and didn't need to witness frat boys gone wild." I shrugged, raised my drink, and said, "This is my property. I can do whatever the F I want on it. Next time, read the signs." They looked stunned. One of the men looked like he was about to step forward, all puffed up and macho, but the woman grabbed his arm and hissed, "Just go." They packed up, tossing side eyes like candy, and finally left. Took them less than 10 minutes after that to disappear back onto their boat. 2 hours after our original call, the police finally showed up. We told them what happened, showed the footage from the security cam, which clearly showed them walking past 2 signs, and the officer shrugged. "Well, they're gone now, and no damage was done. Nothing we can really do unless they come back. If they do, call us again." I smiled politely and thanked him. But next time they show up again, they're going to find all 9 of us already down there playing beach bingo, sipping spiked lemonade, and making out under a rainbow flag we're hanging just for the occasion. You want a show? We'll give you one. It's your property, and they were trespassing. I guess it could have been handled better, but I don't think that makes you guys the a-holes. Just because you were lakefront makes no difference. I mean, what if you were in a suburb and some random family decided to barbecue in your backyard because it's Father's Day? Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.